What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Manchester United FIFA 21 career mode, where today we're going to be delving into the January transfer window once again. We're going to play 3 massive league games, starting off away against Fulham, before we then pay a trip to Spurs, and we'll finish off today's episode with another Manchester derby. It seems to have come around in quick succession, and we'll play them in the league at home. It's going to be a tricky game at home. Of course, we absolutely battered them by 5-1 away. I'd love another result like that, but whether we get that today or not, I am not too sure. In terms of the league table, we're still doing really well. We're in second place, but we are still 8 points behind Liverpool, so we need to continue winning. So the games today are absolutely massive. I mean, we're starting off, like I say, against Fulham, who we should get a win against, to be honest, and keep up that good form. But then Spurs, who are in 4th, are just 3 points behind us, and then we've got Man City, who are not having the best season so far. They've drawn far too many games, currently sat in 38 points in 6th position. So huge episode for us today. Now, of course, the big decision for us is, do we replace Paul Pogba? Those of you that saw the last episode will have seen that we've lost Paul Pogba for the rest of the season. He picked up an injury against Burnley, and he's got an anterior cruciate ligament injury at this moment in time. He's going to be out for 7 months, which is a massive blow to us. He won't be back until July. So the big decision that we've got to make is, do we replace him for the rest of the season? And I'm really torn both ways. I mean, we could switch things up a little bit. We could try and maintain what we've got, first of all, and throw Scott McTominay in there, who's a really, really good player. I like him an awful lot. But if we take McTominay out of the equation, if we think that either he gets injured or Van der Beek gets injured, we've not really got much in terms of backup. We've got Matic, but he is now on the decline. I'm not sure how old he is. He's well into his 30s, and he's going to start to decline a little bit. And aside from that, we haven't really got anyone else that can play central midfield. We could always move Bruno Fernandes back a step into one of these positions and play Jack Grealish as a cam, which he's very comfortable playing. And it's just a really tricky situation because we've got board objectives that we need to meet as well. They want us to finish in the top 4. They want us to get to the FA Cup final, and they want us to get to the Champions League final. So it's, what do we do? I mean, our hands could be tied, to be honest, because we've only got 24 million in the transfer budget. So we'd have to sell probably before we can buy. Now, in terms of players that we could sell, there's a chance that we could maybe sell somebody like Eric Bailly, but I'm not too sure exactly how much he is worth at this moment in time. We can check that out in the squad hub, because we've got Koulibaly, we've got Maguire, we've got Upamecano, and I'm actually tempted, and especially after real life and the Champions League performance he put in the week, I'm tempted to use Twanzebe as our 4th centre-back. So, realistically, we could put Eric Bailly on the transfer list, but there's so many different equations and things that we could do here. It's really, really difficult to decide. See, Eric Bailly is worth 18.5 million. That's a lot of money. And he's basically, after this year, he's going into his last season. I don't think he's going to get any better. We're not going to see him into the 80s in terms of rating. I'm going to make a bit of a decision here, and I'm going to add him to the transfer list, because if we can get 20 million for him, then that would put our financial position in terms of the transfer budget up to almost 45 million, maybe 46. We could alter this wage budget a little bit. If we think about how much a top player would cost per week, let's look, see, we can move this over. We can get the wage budget. We've actually got the money here. I just didn't realize it. If we put, say, nearly just over 400 a week into the wage budget, we've actually got 55 million for the transfer budget that we could spend. Add another 20 million on top of that, and there's things that we can do here. Now, in terms of the transfer hub, I have shortlisted a few players that we could potentially look at for these midfield positions. I am scouting Declan Rice. I like Declan Rice a lot, so it'd be interesting to see what he's worth. He's valued at 30 million, so if we could get him for anywhere near that, that'd be amazing. But Declan Rice isn't really a replacement for Pogba. He's got a low attacking work rate and high defensive. He's more of a replacement for someone like a Matic, but again, he's a body in midfield. There's like Wilfred Ndidi, who's medium-high, who would be great for us, but I think that, how much is he worth? He's worth 60 million. Zakaria, I like a lot, from Borussia Mönchengladbach, 83 rated, young, 24 years old. You know, he's got one trait, which is the playmaker trait. He's medium, which is decent. I like Konrad Lima as well, from Leipzig, 23 years old. He's got the dives into tackles trait. He's on a medium-high. You know, someone like Yuri Tielemans would be an amazing replacement. He's we don't know what his value is at the moment. We'll check him out. Erdegaard, we've got absolutely no chance. We scouted him out. You know, he's worth 58 million. He's got a massive release clause as well. So it's a really tough decision. I think we're probably going to have to get into the episode and get some scout reports back on Tielemans and Rice to really decide what we're going to do here. So our first game of the day is going to be against Fulham at Craven Cottage. Now, when we think about our next game that we've got, which is away to Spurs, we've got just over a week until that game. So it gives everybody a big chance to recover from this one. So I think that we can afford to put out a strong side here. I do want to have a little look and continue to develop Mason Greenwood so he can play on that right-hand side. Jack Grealish has been playing excellently. So do I want to put Jack Grealish in? I can't really replace Bruno Fernandes at the moment. He's on super form. He really, really is. And so are Rashford and Martial. I think we're going to have to keep Jack Grealish on the bench. At the back, Upamecano's doing really well. But we need to give Harry Maguire a little bit more game time. He does play quite a lot. He's on 88 sharpness at the moment. 86 sharpness for Upamecano. Do you know, maybe we give Upamecano a chance today and we put him in place of Koulibaly. Let's see how that works out. But I don't want to tinker with the side too much. So we'll bring in Mason Greenwood and we'll bring in Upamecano in place of Koulibaly and Dembele in that side. And I think this is what we will probably go with. We do need to get an attacker on the bench. We really don't have a lot in terms of striking options. Now, one thing that we need to remember about Fulham is that they are actually one of the two teams who have beaten us this season. We know what they're about. We need to be careful of them, but they're not having a good season. So we need to be looking to win this game. Right, here we come. First opportunity of the game. That's a lovely ball through from Scott McTominay, looking to release Anthony Martial, who scores after 19 minutes. That's actually been the first attack of the game. It's been a very quiet opening 20 minutes. Both teams just sort of feeling each other out a little bit. But Scott McTominay vying to keep his place in this side, and he's saying, "Gaffer, do not replace me." He wants to be the man that replaces Paul Pogba. It's a great throw through to Martial. And Martial must be into double figures now this season. He is. There we go, look. 10 goals in the Premier League for Anthony. He is absolutely flying, and we're 1-0 ahead at Craven Cottage. I actually like Scott McTominay an awful lot. I really do. I want him to stay in this side, and he's picked another ball out to Martial, who drives another one over the top of the crossbar this time. But, you know, I think we do need to bring another central midfielder in. It's even on my mind as I'm playing the game. But I don't want to replace Scott. I want to keep him in the side. And, you know, maybe we need to look to be having a replacement there ready for when Nemanja Matic leaves the club. You know, someone like Declan Rice. I like Declan Rice an awful lot. And I think he'd be a United player. You know, he fits that mould. Young, English, talented. Bruno Fernandes is through here. Oh, and he's hit the crossbar. Can he get the rebound? Should be 2-0 up and comfortable in this game. But yeah, Declan Rice I like a lot. I feel like he could be the sort of prime target for us at the moment. But I need to switch off from that. I need to concentrate on this game because I know how bad I am at it defensively as Fulham come forward with Tom Kearney. Great interception from Harry Maguire, but Kearney picks it up once again. Cabano on the edge of the box, lovely turn. Oh, we try and dive in a little bit there. We could have potentially given away a penalty. Here they come again, and the shot in the end just gets scuffed, and it's easily gathered by David De Gea. Shocking. Oh, it's a great throw out. I thought that was a terrible throw initially, but Mason Greenwood's onto it, and he's got the pace over Brian, and he's going to whip it into the box, and he wins himself a corner. So we led 1-0 at the break as we move into the second half. I think we definitely need another goal here. Fulham are a dangerous side, as we saw at Old Trafford, even in little bits and splurts today. We've seen that they are quite creative going forward, so we need to make sure that we get this game wrapped up and we get ourselves a win. That's a ball from Van der Beek in towards Marcus Rashford. Hits it straight at the goalkeeper. Another opportunity gone. Fernandes on the turn. Deflected, maybe out for a corner. No, goes out for... Oh, it's actually offside by the looks of it by Anthony Martial, but good start to the second half for us. I don't feel like we've quite clicked in this second half yet. We've really not played well. It's been a scrappy game, and we've had to really sort of fight for every little bit of possession. The passing has been off. We've not been our usual selves in terms of passing, but maybe we can create something here with Mason Greenwood, who finds a little bit of space, but again the cross is straight into the arms of Rodak. There's Jack Grealish, lovely ball in towards Fernandes, who finds Martial, gets it back. Fulham defending well, and we tried to put the pressure on a little bit there, but we could be a little bit open at the back. That could be offside. It's not offside against Cabano. I was convinced he was. He's going to be faced up with Alex Tellez. The one thing in this game is they don't really cross too many balls into the box. There goes the final whistle. We collect all 3 points, and we keep a clean sheet as well. By no means a vintage performance, but overall, the 3 points is all that matters. So we still remain 8 points behind Liverpool. They continue to win their games. 22 games into the season, Liverpool 8 points clear. And do you know what? All we can do is carry on winning. That's our only option, really. How did Liverpool do? They beat Chelsea by a 1-0. So that actually helps us out a little bit. And we are now 4 points in front of them and 3 points in front of Spurs, who we do play next. So we've got another player going out on loan. So Evan Morris this time, he's going to go out on a short-term loan deal over to Santos, the United States man. So we'll accept that offer for a short-term loan. So I think all we can do now at this moment in time is decide to, plough on through the simulation, see if we get any offers for Eric Bailly, and also at the same time get those scout reports back from players like Declan Rice, and I think Tielemans was the other one. Okay, so there's confirmation. Morris has been loaned out. PSG would like to take Brandon Williams on a loan deal with an option to buy. We're going to reject that 100%. I like Brandon Williams a lot. I want to keep him in this side. We've got some prize money for the FA Cup as well, so I think that could possibly mean that the draw for the next round has been done. Of course, in the last episode, we had to wait for all those replays. So let's see who we've got in the next round. And we'll be playing Brighton at Old Trafford. So a Premier League side, big game for us, but opportunity, definitely, for us to go through to round 5. Now, when do we play that game? That comes in the next episode. So that one's been sneaked into the calendar on the Sunday, so that will come in the next episode after we've played the Spurs and the Man City games today. So next up, we've got Spurs in the Premier League at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and I think that this is the side that we are going to put out there. Everybody's fit, everybody's ready to go. On paper, this is our strongest team, without a doubt. Absolutely no shadow of a doubt, it's our strongest side. And we'll get Mason Greenwood back on the bench. He didn't really impress, to be honest, against Fulham. So Dembele will come back into the side. Van der Beek and McTominay will run the middle. Scott McTominay actually shouldn't be too far off now in his development plan from being a central midfielder. So we'll stick with that. Rashford on the left, Martial up top, Bruno Fernandes in behind. I like this side a lot. This is what we'll go for. Strong side for Spurs, Kane, Dele Alli, Son. Who's the Fernandes that they've got on the right-hand side? I'm not quite sure. It looks like they've signed Daley Blind as well. They've got Alaba at the back alongside Reguilon, De Gea and Aurier with Lloris in goal. Big game for us. Hopefully we can get another 3 points against Spurs. Of course, they drew with us in the game at Old Trafford, but they're only 3 points behind us in the table. So big game for us here. This is a real opportunity for us. You know, with Spurs only 3 points behind us, if we win here, it can go all the way to 6 points, making it very difficult for Tottenham to catch us in the league table. I know we're only just sort of halfway through, but it's a big chance to really set a marker down, I think. Here's Donny van der Beek. He's got Marcus Rashford outside him, who can put a cross in. It's a terrible cross, but it forces Hugo Lloris into making a save. Spurs, who of course have got former Manchester United man Daley Blind in their starting 11 today, so it'll be interesting to see how he gets on. Corner's put in by Dembele. It's a bit of a poor one, to be honest. Telles should tidy up, find Donny van der Beek. That gets blocked. Koulibaly finds Scott McTominay, who can work his way into the box. And there's a big tackle that's been put in there from Reguilon, who, as far as I remember, didn't have a great game at Old Trafford. He really struggled against Dembele. So hopefully he's someone that we can, for sure, target today. Fernandes with a better corner towards Harry Maguire. And Hugo Lloris pulls out another save. Oh, here's a bit of room for Martial. And he finds Bruno Fernandes, saved again by Lloris. Spurs living dangerously in the early stages of this game. Here's Dembele, and he skips past his man, Reguilon. Like I say, he did not have a good game at Old Trafford. Can we put a ball into the box? It comes off David Alaba. Out for another corner, and we've been really good in the opening stages. Ball in towards Harry Maguire. Drops towards Telles. He's got Koulibaly, who can have a shot here, and he does. Oh, imagine that. Koulibaly scoring from open play. But Lloris is keeping Spurs in the game. Here we come again with Dembele up against Reguilon. And he smashes it out of play. Reguilon is awful. He's really bad. He's just a fullback who, in this game, whenever I come up against him, especially with a player like Dembele, I'm just going to target him. Harry Maguire, big header, goal for United. We take the lead on the half-an-hour mark, and that has all come from, you know, rather than Reguilon just putting it out of play, you know, it's been smashed into his own net, smashed out for a corner, and Harry Maguire smashed it into the net, not into his own net whatsoever. Massive header from our captain up against, who's he beaten in the air there? Is that Vertonghen and Winks that he's potentially beaten? Massive header, and we take the lead. So, into the second half then. Went in at half-time 1-0 up. What we need is a similar level of performance in the second half. That's not a good start, though, by someone who I'm quite surprised at, Bruno Fernandes, giving the ball away there. Luckily for us, we get it back through Donny van der Beek, and now Marcus Rashford has it. He's managed to get himself into the box. He's going to go for a shot. It gets blocked. He goes for a header, and he scores. Marcus Rashford. Lovely goal from Marcus. He's actually getting on the score sheet now. We got a little bit lucky here getting around Aurier. The shot was blocked by the defender, and then Marcus Rashford has managed to put such power behind the header. Past Hugo Lloris. Absolutely superb. And we are right on course to collect all 3 points from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Honestly, man, Reguilon is the worst player in FIFA. He's an absolute dream to play against. I don't see him do really anything right at all. Watch him go and score against me now. But Heung-min Son, he's not had a good game today either. And we're going to go at Reguilon again with Dembele. Look at this. It's too easy. It really is too easy. We've got men in the box. It's driven across. Aurier's made a mistake. And Marcus Rashford has smashed it into the net on the volley. Reguilon is just the heart of everything that Spurs do wrong. He really is. I mean, to be fair, Aurier's made a massive mistake with the clearance. Should have just put his foot through it. But Marcus Rashford is there to pick up his second goal of the game. And all 3 points are coming to Old Trafford. That is terrible from Serge Aurier. And that will do it then. 3-0. Another 3 points heading back towards Old Trafford. Really, really good win. We're now 6 points in front of Spurs. And we managed to get one up on Jose Mourinho. You love to see it. You really, really do. But great victory for us all the same. Marcus Rashford grabbing himself 2 goals today. Harry Maguire the other one. And again, another fantastic performance. And of course, Liverpool have won again. Will they ever lose? That's the question. But we are starting to pull away now in that top 4. You know, 53 points, 4 points ahead of Chelsea. We're now, 6 points ahead of Spurs. We're doing really, really well. And we are, how many points? 7 points ahead of Leicester. So we've got a 7-point gap into those Champions League spaces. Now, another good news, it looks as though Scott McTominay has completed his development from a central defensive midfielder to a central midfielder. So we're going to change his position. That'll improve his shooting, his attacking positioning, long pass, short pass, ball control, dribbling and reaction. So we're more than happy to accept that. And he's going to be a superb player for us. I'd quite like, to change him to a box-to-box. It would give him a high attacking work rate and a high defensive work rate. But do we do that, or do we change him to a ball-winning midfielder? I want him to be a box-to-box, I love Scott. I really do. Or do we keep him as balanced? I'm not too sure. Maybe we'll keep him as balanced for now. So we have had our scout report back for Declan Rice. He's currently 79 rated. He's got the leadership traits. I just like everything about him. But the question is, do we do this now and get the body into the club to prepare us for the rest of the season? Oh, it's such a difficult one. It really is. I mean, he's valued at £30 million. And do we put a cheeky bid in? I don't know what to do, guys. Maybe you can help me. If you get the comments in going into this video, then we can look at it in the next one. The January transfer window is not going to be over today, but it will be over in the next episode. So give me your feedback in the comments. Do we go and bring someone in like Declan Rice or any of the players that we've got listed here, or another player that you could let me know about? Or do we stick with what we've got this season? So straight into our next game then, and we're back at Old Trafford for a midweek fixture against Manchester City in the derby. It's another big game. Every game's a big game at the moment, and we're going to put out the exact same starting 11 that won 3-0 against Spurs. City are having a terrible season at the moment. They're languishing in 6th place in the league. They're a massive 12 points behind us, so this is a real chance for us to pull even further ahead of them, and maybe, you never know, if Liverpool were to drop any points, for us to catch up with them. Marcus Rashford, 5 goals in the last 3 matches. He's going to be the one to watch for us today. So let's get into it. Into the derby. Come on, United. Let's do the double over City. Another thing that we're going for in this game, guys, is our 3rd clean sheet in a row. Can you believe it? I think before today, we'd only kept 1 or 2 all season. And just like buses, 2 of them come along at once. But it's going to be a tough ask against a talented City side. I think that Marcus Rashford is offside there, and City clear up the danger. But they're going to be dangerous today, Man City. Here's Kevin De Bruyne, who's got a little bit of room for City here, and he finds Zinchenko on the left-hand side, all the way back towards Rodri. City are going to be they're going to want to win this game today. Wan-Bissaka doing really well though defensively. And we get it back towards De Bruyne once again. Just got to concentrate. Tricky players City have got. De Bruyne's into the box, but then he comes back outside the box. FIFA have to fix this. They really do, because you know where the ball's going to go. And our man Scott McTominay comes away with it, and he releases Anthony Martial, who got a couple of goals at the Etihad, and he almost gets another one there. Marcus Rashford with a follow-up. Great save again by Edison. Danger, half cleared. We get it back with Bruno Fernandes, who can't find a shot, but first opportunity in the derby falling to us. The thing we need to be careful of today is City on the break. I've noticed when we get forward in numbers. We really, really do. And City have got quite a lot of space in that midfield area as they come out here towards Zinchenko. Good ball into the box. Wan-Bissaka doing really well there. And Dembele managing to find Scott McTominay. Lovely ball out to Van der Beek, and Marcus Rashford is going to be offside. Opportunity for us again here with Marcus Rashford. Tries to cut inside his man. He's got support in Fernandes, who's got support in Scott McTominay, who will have a go, and he hits the side netting. Very, very close to a goal for us there just before half-time. Thomas Partey getting himself a booking after the advantage was played. But no real clear-cut chances so far in this first half. Now, we have got some tired legs in midfield, I'm noticing. Just going into that half-time break, you know, Donny van der Beek and Scott McTominay have both played really, really well. But the fitness for them isn't quite 100%. And I don't want something like that to maybe cost us the game. So we might have to do a little bit of a rejig at some point pretty early in this second half. Here's that space I was talking about that Aguero's managed to get himself into. And City going backwards to come forwards. It's picked up again by Thomas Partey. There is room. Harry Maguire doing really well against Partey. But City have still got the ball, and they're proving quite difficult to match up. There's a ball into the box. Tellez, though, clears it out for us. We've lost it again, and it's come out towards Kevin De Bruyne, and he's found Sergio Aguero, and City are in the lead on the hour in the derby. This would be a massive result for them, and it'd be a big blow for us. But we haven't created in this second half. We've not come out as we wanted to do and create anything. City lead. It's a great ball from Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and he's found Dembele. He's got men over at the back post. If he can get it in, it's a great clearance in the end. I think it was by Fernandinho out for a United corner, which Fernandes takes. Edison gets there just in time, and we need to try and win this ball back now. But Raheem Sterling has picked it up, and he will try and hit us on the break. We can't even bring him down with Aaron Wan-Bissaka, so Alex Tellez is going to have a go at him. What we don't want is City to score again and for us to end up out of the game here. Bernardo has it now. He whips a cross in, and it's in the net, and I think that it's an own goal. There's no way that Jesus has scored that goal. He's just come on for Sergio Aguero, and I think that's quite potentially an own goal. It's gone in from Bernardo. Oh, he has. He's nipped the header in. Is it Jesus or is it Sterling? It's actually Sterling. Koulibaly can't quite get close enough to him. And this is a disaster. We're going to lose at Old Trafford again. City have just run the game in the second half. They're in again. And they've re-signed Edin Dzeko. What is this all about? I saw that they made some changes, but I didn't quite notice it was Edin Dzeko. And City are doing to us, at our place, what we did to them at their place. This is a big blow to any kind of small title hopes that we may have had. You know, we're back down to earth with a bump here. We just can't keep the ball. We really can't keep the ball. City are going to make us look silly. We've just not come out in the second half. Here's Bernardo again. Finds De Bruyne. Lovely little bit of football. And that's 4. Wow. Oh, dearie, dearie me. Edin Dzeko scores again. This is incredible. It really, really is. United 0. City 4. Well. There we have it. Full time at Old Trafford. It's our worst defeat of the season. I mean, at least in the Carabao Cup when City beat us, we scored 1 that day. And they beat us 4-1. But Pep has fully got his revenge here. We actually looked okay in the first half, but in the second, all over the place. So did Liverpool lose? No, they didn't. And they are now a massive 11 points in front of us. I think that any sort of faint title hopes that we may have had have well and truly gone now. Chelsea have caught up with us a little bit as well. They beat Newcastle by 2-1. You know, Spurs are back in the mix. They won by 2-0 away at Leeds. And Leicester are also up there. So it's back to a pretty tight scrap between second, third and fourth, and you know, not much that we can do about that. We just need to bounce back and try and keep winning again. But that will end today's episode of Career Mode, guys. Join me for the next one when we will round up the January transfer window. We'll take on Brighton in the FA Cup 4th round at Old Trafford, away against Sheffield United, and we will probably sneak in the Leeds game at Ellen Road as we move into February. Let me have your feedback as well on what we do with our midfield situation. We have got money to spend. We've got players on the shortlist. Do we bring Declan Rice in or another player on this list? We've actually noticed that Konrad Laimer has gone to Bayern Munich, so we'll remove him from the shortlist for now. But thank you so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed, please do leave a like rating. Subscribe to the channel as well if you are new, and I will catch you guys in the next one.